Austin Hill has never lost at EchoPark Speedway like this before. 5 wins, 1 tied record. Tonight, the track that built his career could hand him something no driver in O'Reilly Auto Parts Series history has ever owned alone. But the last 2 races here ended with someone else's name in victory lane. So can Austin Hill really make NASCAR history tonight, or does his home track have other plans? Tonight is the Focused Health 250. It runs at EchoPark Speedway in Hampton, Georgia. Green flag drops at 7:17 p.m. Eastern on the CW network. The race covers 163 laps and 251 miles, split into 3 stages. Qualifying happened this morning, setting the field that will chase this record tonight. This is actually one half of a 2-track doubleheader today. While the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series races in Georgia tonight, the Craftsman Truck Series runs its own event hundreds of miles away at Lime Rock Park in Connecticut. 2 different tracks, 2 different series, the same Saturday. But all eyes at EchoPark Speedway are on one driver. Austin Hill climbs into his number 21 Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet, knowing exactly what is on the line. He already has 5 wins at this track. 5 wins ties him with Kevin Harvick, a NASCAR Hall of Famer, for the most wins ever at EchoPark Speedway in this series. Harvick built that mark over a full Hall of Fame career, racing everything from trucks to cup at the highest level. Hill has matched it while still in the middle of his own story. 1 more win tonight breaks that tie. 1 more win makes Austin Hill the sole record holder at his own home track. That is the history we are talking about tonight. That word matters. Home track. Hill grew up in Winston, Georgia, less than an hour from this speedway. Every fan in the stands tonight could be someone he grew up around. Every lap he runs here, he runs in front of people who watched him climb through legend cars and bandoleros before he ever touched a stock car. EchoPark Speedway is not just a stop on the schedule for Austin Hill. It is home. The track itself has changed since Hill first started winning here. EchoPark Speedway was reconfigured back in 2022, turning the old Atlanta Oval into a tighter, steeper track built for pack racing, similar to Daytona and Talladega. Cars run in tight groups at high speed, trading the lead constantly. That change turned this track into one of Hill's best weapons. Since the reconfiguration, no driver has adjusted to the new layout better than he has. But history does not hand out gifts. The last 2 races at this track did not go his way. Nick Sanchez won here in June of last year. Sheldon Creed won the most recent race in February. Both were first-time winners at EchoPark Speedway. Both took a trophy that Hill has claimed 5 times before. Hill has been stuck at 5 wins, tied with Harvick, for more than a year now. Tonight is his chance to finally move past it, and Sheldon Creed is not sitting this one out. Creed is entered again tonight, defending the win he picked up back in February. Creed has not led a single lap since Talladega back in April, but he has posted 3 top 10 finishes in his last 4 races, so he is far from cold heading into tonight. If Hill wants his 6th trophy at EchoPark Speedway, he may have to go straight through the driver who beat him here just months ago. Recent races at this track rarely get decided early. Hill's 5th win here came down to a final lap pass after a push from another driver sent him into the lead in Turn 1. His 4th win came after a late multi-car crash bunched the field up for a green-white checkered finish. If tonight follows the same pattern, the 6th win will not be settled until the final lap, in front of the same home crowd that has watched him do this before. Now here is where the story gets bigger than one track. Austin Hill does not just chase records at EchoPark Speedway. He owns the biggest record on every drafting track in the entire O'Reilly Auto Parts series, and he built it 1 race at a time. Drafting tracks are the tracks built for pack racing. The record for most wins on these tracks belonged jointly to 2 NASCAR legends, Dale Earnhardt and Tony Stewart. Each of them won 8 races on drafting tracks during their careers. Hill caught that record in the spring of 2025 with a photo finish win at Talladega, edging ahead of 2 other cars right at the line. That win alone tied him with the 2 legends. He did not stop there. Hill missed part of the 2025 playoffs after a suspension for wrecking a rival at Indianapolis, a penalty that also cost him 21 playoff points. He bounced back weeks later and swept Talladega for the season, breaking the tie with Earnhardt and Stewart for good. He opened the 2026 season with another win at Daytona, stretching the record even further. Today, Hill sits at 11 career wins on drafting tracks. The next closest active driver is Jeb Burton, with 2 wins, both of them at Talladega. 11 wins compared to 2. That gap says everything about where Austin Hill stands in this era of the sport. Zoom out even further and the numbers get bigger. Hill's most recent series win came in June at Naval Base Coronado in California. That was the 16th win of his career in this series. He is a former Rookie of the Year and a former regular season champion, and 16 wins puts him among the most successful drivers of his generation. 11 of those 16 wins came on drafting tracks alone. No other driver on tonight's entry list is close to that mark. Add in his time in the Craftsman Truck Series, and Hill already has 8 more wins at the national level from before he ever joined Richard Childress Racing full-time. Combine both series and Austin Hill is closing in on 25 career wins across NASCAR's National Touring Series. Very few drivers his age can say that. So when people ask if Hill deserves to be called the greatest drafting track racer in series history, the numbers already answer that question. A 6th win at EchoPark Speedway tonight would not just break the tie with Harvick. It would push his own all-time drafting track record even further out of reach for anyone chasing him. There is more riding on tonight than just the trophy. Hill sits 5th in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series playoff standings. Justin Allgaier has already clinched a spot at the top of the standings. Hill has not clinched his own spot yet. Only 4 races remain before the 12 driver Chase Field is locked in, and the battle for the final spot is razor-tight between Brent Cruz and William Sawalich. A win tonight would lock in Hill's playoff spot and add valuable points heading into the stretch run. For Hill, tonight is not just about chasing history. It is about protecting his season. There is a second storyline sitting right next to Hill in the garage tonight. His Richard Childress Racing teammate Jesse Love has been fast at every drafting track this year. Love is the only driver in the series with a top 10 finish at every drafting track in 2026. But Love still does not have a single win this season. Richard Childress Racing has swept the pole and the win at this track before. If it happens again tonight, Hill will still need to be the one crossing the line first to make his history count. There is also a heavier story running through this entire weekend. Austin Hill is not just racing tonight. Tomorrow, he climbs into the number 33 Chevrolet for the Cup Series race at this very same track. That car once belonged to Kyle Busch. Busch passed away in May after a sudden illness. Richard Childress Racing turned to Hill to take over the car, and in June, the team confirmed Hill would drive it for the rest of the season. Hill is still chasing his first Cup Series win, and his best result so far in that car is a top 10 finish on the streets of Chicago.